Well, that depends on how much suffering you had. How do we measure suffering since it's this abstract idea? Well, you have to anchor it to something objective, right? And the most rational thing to anchor it to is the cost of your medical bills. And so oftentimes you'll hear that cases will resolve for 2 or 3 times the medical bill, right? And that's a very rough way to estimate the value of a case. There are other components that go into it, right? There are other factors that play into it. I was reading about a case, got a verdict of $2 million very recently in Los Angeles that had no medical bills. The entire case was pain and suffering. And pain and suffering is part of the claim. There's 2 types of damages. There's economic damages and non-economic. Non-economic damages are the pain and suffering, loss of enjoyment of life, all of these things that are intangible, right? And so how do you measure an intangible thing in dollars? Well, you have to come up with objective anchors. So like lost wages could be an objective anchor. This person couldn't work for 3 years. That obviously you have to assume that a person who's so hurt they can't work for 3 years is suffering physically. And then you look at, okay, what were their lost wages for this time? Maybe that's a way to extrapolate a value for their pain and suffering. You look at their medical bills during that time. Maybe that's a way to value their pain and suffering. So you have to use objective indicia to come up with this abstract value for pain and suffering. So what is your suffering actually worth? Really, it's up for a jury to decide. But you and your lawyer can give the jury all the tools that it needs to make the decision by going to the right doctors, by getting the right treatment to make sure that you get better and don't have any injuries that are undocumented.